You can be becoming. You can look in my palm and see the storm coming. Read the book of my life and see I'm overcoming. Just because the length of your hair ain't long, and they often criticize you for your skin tone. Gonna hold your head high, cause you're a pretty woman. Get your runway stride on and keep it going. Girl, look, you're right. Just wanna be yourself. Girl, be yourself. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Girl, be yourself. That's what I do.
Oh, ladies, thank you so very much for joining in with me and rocking it like rock stars you are. Welcome to Take Center Stage. My name is Marisa Bludorn. I am your host. I am the CEO of TCS Consultant and the editor-in-chief of Own It magazine. And taking center stage with me are the speakers of the Success Women's International Conference. I am super excited to be here with you guys. I'm excited about the conference that's coming up November 18th through the 21st, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. And so I'm really excited. We're ending off the year strong. And I just want to share, with the audience about your journey. These are the speakers for our audience. These are the speakers that are in the house, and they're going to share with us about their journey to becoming speakers, and their background and what they offer. And so I'm excited. And I have a co-host with me today, Robin Hughes. She is the CEO of R. Hughes and Associates and the editor-in-chief of R. Hughes and Associates magazine. So Robin, share a little bit, and then let's go right into our speakers.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We understand that your time is very important and want to get you out there and talk about what you're going to do with the Success Women's International Conference. We're just elated about this opportunity. And what I do, I was just sharing a little while ago that one of my main focuses is to help small businesses get that exposure and get certified as minority and women-owned businesses. So I'm going to keep it right there. That, like I said, the main focus, even though we do HR, business consulting, and personal and professional development as well. And then the magazine want to give you that exposure. And that's one of the things that brought us to this platform today. So super excited to have you.
Yes, super excited to have you guys. I want to start with Maura. Maura, talk to us a little bit about your connection to the Success Women's International Conference. How did you get connected? We know that you're going to be speaking and everything. Share a little bit about your experience and your journey.
Thank you so much for inviting me at your platform to share some quick information with your community. I am Moira Lival. I am currently living in Massachusetts. I live to empower and inspire and transform people's lives. I'm a licensed mental health clinician. I'm also a functional medicine practitioner, finishing up on my PhD for integrative medicine. Another one, right? I heard you talking about it. So Kearn Sherry is somebody that I love. When it's come to women empowering women, we need to stop thinking it's my stuff. That's why I'm
here, girl.
I'm here just to collaborate so we can become bigger, bolder, and transforming lives. We need to stop thinking we are on an island. We are no island. And the more we can collaborate as women, the more we can empower women to women and lift up a sister, I think we will be more successful in this world, and this world will be a better place to be. So I'm part of this conference to just talking about ways people can respond to the unique divine purpose, because we all have one, but we all are so crowded by our own trauma, disaster, and struggle. What happened? We don't think time is running out. We think we have all the life and all the time going on. So I'm here to just share my knowledge with people to just take care of this population and telling you what is possible in your life when you take your calling so seriously.
Oh, yeah. You better talk about it. I say align with your design, right? Align with your design. That's where fulfillment lies. you know, you said something very important. When we were on Clubhouse, we talked about, you know, collaborating, not competing, right? Partnering
Right.
up is so critically important. And girl, you just speaking my language. Latoya, I want to hear from you, girl. Talk to me about you. You know, share with the audience, do your intro, and then we're going to dive in deep.
Hi everyone, I'm Latoya Shea and I'm a spiritual life coach and I help people get unstuck and just fulfill their God-given purpose. And I know it's an overlooked area because everyone thinks that, oh, it's just God, I'm good. But it really isn't. Many things are hinged on your spiritual journey and your spiritual growth. And I know this firsthand because I have been on my own since I was 13 and I have encountered many, many, many obstacles which I have triumphed thanks be to God. And it has forced me to enter this intimacy with God, which has propelled me to a place where I didn't even imagine was possible, And I want a lot of people, I do coach, I've been coaching for some time now, but I am the person who was always introverted and so I did my community and helped a lot of people, and everyone's like, no, you need to get your voice out there because so many people need you, Toya. So many people are, and everywhere I go, every interaction I have with people, and every time I meet someone and like I prophesy, it's so sad because a lot of the issue that they think they're having right now is caused by some deeply rooted childhood trauma. And I help many people overcome these things so they can rock out and fulfill their God-given purpose and live a life of bliss.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's interesting that you say that, Latoya, is because I can remember when I started doing a lot of public speaking formally. You know, you do a lot of speaking for your community, organizations that you're a part of, but when you start going in a place where you begin to get paid for it, it's a different environment, and we're used to speaking spiritually. When you're born again, I'm crazy for Jesus. When you're born again, you can in church, you can speak all of that. But when you go to a professional environment and you begin to speak, and you are in alignment with your calling and your purpose, people have a tendency, I know, to ask me, where did the confidence come from? Where did, how do you do this? I'm a Toastmaster. And when I used to go out and speak afterwards, I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm distinguished. Only because you love the organization enough, and I just believe in it so much. But they would ask me afterwards, how do you do it with such confidence? And it is the spiritual part. It's the really accepting and embracing the totality of my identity in Christ. It's just, this is who you called me to be. This is who you purposed me to be. And so much so that I actually did a 6-book volume series called Words to Inspire You, because people do need to hear from you. They do need to hear from you. There's a world. The scripture says the whole earth moans and groans and awaits the true sons of God to arrive, right? So we got to arrive. And so we have to be there.
World.
Right. It's not about us. It's about all that God has called and assigned us to do. And that's what this conference is about. It's about the sisterhood. It's about encouraging sisters to come up and then fostering an environment which they could truly be their authentic selves. So this is, I love you guys. I love you. If I can't say it enough, I do. Dr. Annika, come on, let me hear from you. And am I saying your name right?
Hey. Well, my name is Dr. Onika Curley. I am the founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I am known as a procrastination strategist, behavior change expert, where I help individuals to build unshakable confidence, knowing who they are in Christ, to stop the procrastination and to get their dreams out of their heads into their lives. I feel like when we know who we are, we can stand in our truth as a woman And we don't have to compete. We don't have to compare. We don't have to complain, but we can collaborate and be within communities and sharpen each other's iron. So thank you so much. And I'm super excited to be here.
I love it when I'm not the only one on the stage saying that.
Yep, that is awesome.
It's a good feeling, right, Robin? It's just like,
yes,
okay,
it is.
I'm in the right circle here right now.
We always say we're looking for like-minded people, and we love when we happen to end up doing this. This is awesome. I always tell people, be unapologetically authentic. Be yourself.
Yes.
You can't hold everything close and not share. We were put here to help one another. And we can't, we have to lift one another up. That's the only way we are going to be successful. That's the only way we are going to be successful. We can't forget about one another.
Nope.
Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen, we're referring to, and we want you to either become a speaker if you can't make it this year as a speaker on the lineup. We want you looking out for this platform in the coming year, 2022. We want to make sure that you are in alignment and prepared for such a time as this, because it's time to rise up. I remember first connecting with Kearn Cherry, and the conference was Level Up. Okay, so now you're leveling up. Now it's time to go to the next level in your proficiency. I have a question, Mara. How did you get connected to the Success Conference, the Success Women's International Conference?
Once I heard the name Success Woman Conference, it calls my attention, and I said, I'm in. I didn't know further. I have been a participant with Kearn in the past. I was recently at Power Up, which was amazing. It was an event to never forget. I just actually finished today, close up with speaker conference, which Dr. Cheryl Wood and Les Brown. I'm trained by Les Brown, the one and only GOAT. We know Lisa Nichols. You know, it's all about taking the step to make your life more valuable that you can think of, or they were telling you when you were younger. You know, the Society for Personality and Social Psychology say that having an awareness of our own mortality can improve not only physical health and help us reprioritize our goal and value, but it helps us experiment life deep within us by demonstrating that natural reminders about our own mortality can actually be a great thing. Because my situation, I almost died. I was given a death prescription. I spent 7 years suffering, not knowing what step to take. And I didn't have the right people in my life to help me. And then after I went through the hard work to heal myself, I said, my success doesn't belong to me. How many women out there are struggling with so many diseases? I don't say disease, I say diseases.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me tell you, it is time for you to take your health make your health a priority. That's what I stand for. After so many years, I see anxiety, I see depression, I see people with trauma, I see people with all kinds of difficulties in life. But can you connect yourself with mind, body, and spirit, and knowing there is a bigger purpose for you in this world, and then you can make a difference, and you can take your dream to the next level, because understanding the bottom is too crowded. Okay, we know that we have to level up.
You
Okay,
better tell it.
so it is time to reuniting forces and just have all of these powerful women inspiring you. If you out there, you're struggling, this conference is for you. It's
Yes.
free. What can
Yes.
be even
Yes.
better? It's fully free. And I have
Hello,
a good friend of mine said, unless you going to die young, you going to grow old. How do you want to grow old? It's it's making your decision. So, when you make decision every day to live with vibrancy, now you mindfully living, you move from mindfulness to me right now, calling myself the mindful yes woman. That's why I'm here, to inspire you, to make sure every day you wake up with the desire that your life matters, and then you can make a difference, and then not sitting with your conformity, because comfort and mediocrity, they're very, very close to each other. So you need to move to other area code. If you're too comfortable knowing
Yes.
you're not living on your purpose, I can tell you, I'm tired. Every day
Yeah.
I wake up and I said, okay,
Yeah.
what is next? And then I said, you can't give up right now. Why you can't give up? Because what you're sitting on, someone is waiting on. That's Dr. Cheryl Wood saying that. So we
Yeah.
can sit on our goal and our purpose and our dream. It's to share with the world. That part of this conference is so meaningful to me. And connecting with Kearn Cherry, she's such a
Oh my God.
giving, a
Yes,
powerful
she is.
woman. She's just
Yes,
all
Yes, she
about
is.
making sure people live inspired.
yes, yes. I mean, that's why you're here. You're here because my love for Kern. It's just like,
Yeah.
and sometimes people don't get it. So people who don't recognize kindred spirits will miss it. And so from the time I met her was just like our first conversation. It was just like love her heart, just love her heart, love her humbleness. She's very humble. And just really love her spirit. Such a pleasure. She was our March cover girl for the Own It magazine. And so I just want to tap on a couple of things with you, Maura. One was every month, Own It magazine focuses on an aspect of leadership. And last month it was you have to encourage yourself, knowing how to encourage yourself. And that's something that we need to teach. I had someone get up and speak. I was watching, I don't know, YouTube channel or something, but she got up and she spoke and she said one of the biggest things that she learned was important to not do is to have pity parties. And and Robin and I are very close friends. She will be the first to tell you that I am not the one for the pity party. I don't want to hear
No, I
I
hate it.
don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
What do you say? Get out of your own head, get out of your own way.
I don't like it. Maura, you talked about humor in you said that one of your approaches is humor. Now I like to laugh a lot. And I think that sometimes when women get to be a certain age, they're so busy trying to be a woman that they forget about the little girl inside. And so you forget to you got to have a balance. You have to have fun, but you also have to get things done. Fun,
Yeah.
get things done. And so talk
Yeah.
to, because I want to hear somebody else say it. Then Latoya, I'm going to get you, so prepare. Maura, talk about humor and why that's so critically important.
I read somewhere, it's been over 20 years. Don't take life too seriously. It's not permanent. That has changed my life, and I live by this. We are too seriously thinking of anything. Life is so simple and beautiful.
Yes.
It is amazing to wake up and make fun of yourself, your mistakes, and your past, and move on from it.
Yes.
Own your life, mind, body, and spirit.
You better tell
Because
me.
very often,
Yeah.
what we don't do, Marissa, we don't celebrate ourselves. And we are so tied up with what we own, what we're supposed to be. We never just get the freedom to enjoy our life. I realize we are the biggest rock in our way.
Mm.
Our way for celebration is all coded. Our way to live our life, it's all coded by rules. We can't do this, we can't do that. Everything is not under the radar for us to be successful because too many rules. Learn to laugh. It's just so powerful.
Yes, it
Learn
is.
fun, no matter what. Don't wait. Guess what? You wait for others
Yes.
to validate you. You wait for the star to align. You wait for the mortgage to be paid up. You wait for the weight to shed. You wait for your kid to grow up. You just do what you can where you are with what you have now and be happy and
Yeah.
be celebrating yourself all the time. And that's what we don't do enough. And it's just we waiting for somebody to give us approval. Stop waiting for permission. Show up. As Robin say, unapologetically you and say, give the world notice instead of asking for permission. And laugh at yourself, laugh at your mistake. I'm laughing all the time. Sometimes I'm laughing at things that I do.
Every time.
Like, you're crazy. You really love
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time.
I have
Every time.
I have a funky good time. I do. I will dance. I blast my music. My kids are grown and out the house. I dance my
totally.
music. I love being single. I'm not looking for the husband. He's supposed to find me according to the word of God. So I'm good with that. And so I really have a good time. And so I just wanted to hear someone share that this is so important to really let it go. So
I love the title of your magazine, On It, on your life, because this is the only way you can make things happen in your life. And also learn to be your best company, because if you don't love your company, don't expect somebody else to love it.
no, ain't nobody gonna love it. And I sometimes I think I'm so into myself. I said people probably don't want to be around you. You're a little too comfortable with being by yourself.
I see kid Marissa, and they said, Moira, you love yourself so much. I'm like, oh yes.
Mhm.
I made them understand that I love me so much that I can't eat crap. I need to take care of myself. I exercise, I laugh a lot, and I eat well. And I am mindful of the everyday blessing in my life.
Yes. And that's like I
Amen.
said earlier,
Amen.
like the little things that God does for you, like having someone open the door when your hands are all filled up and you can't open it yourself. People don't even think they don't even look up and say, "Daddy, that was you." That was you right there. Latoya, I want to talk about the
Yes.
discovery process. You talk about helping people to align and to the discovery process. Share a little bit with the audience about letting go and allowing themselves to do the exploratory work that's required for them to actually get in alignment.
Well, one of the thing that I notice most people don't know themselves. They don't know themselves and they're not honest with themselves. Once, when I started my journey, when I was really committed to it, I called everyone I knew and asked them if they loved themselves.
Mm.
And everyone, and at that time, my phone book was full. Um, everyone said no except two people. And the two who said yes, they love themselves, I was pretty sure that they didn't. They were the two that I was certain of because of the things that they did to self sabotage, right?
Mm.
And so at that moment, I disconnected my phone. I disconnected my phone and only used email as a way of communicating with people. And I spent an entire year of learning myself and learning how to love myself.
Mm.
So to get to that point of self-discovery, you have to know, you have to acknowledge, as Myra was saying, you have to be aware that there is an issue. And most people, they're not aware that there's something holding them bound until an obstacle, or they realize that they're at this wall of Jericho that they keep going in circle. The same thing keeps happening, same thing keeps happening in their relationship, or same thing keeps happening at a job, or whatever the circumstance is. And it's at that time then we have to dive deep and find out what's the real issue at hand.
Mm.
And I love that, Mara. I just wanted to point out about the humor, because that's very, very, very important. Many people ask me, Toya, how do you have this light? I mean, you have been through so many things, abuse, like you name it. I could tell you, I live like 1,000 lifetimes. And they can't understand. I was in the army, and I would get in trouble all the time because I'm always laughing. They're like, "Soldier, are you trying to hit on my drill sergeant? Push." They'll get me to do push-ups, and then when I'm down there doing push-ups, I'm laughing, and so they'd make the whole platoon do push-ups, and then it was so infectious that the whole platoon was laughing, and it just became this fun session where we're just doing push-ups and laugh. Humor is very important, but to find the humor in things, you have to have gratitude. You have to be grateful for the things that you have, like, just the ability to get up in the morning, or to be able to see. I am also a nurse anesthetist, and one thing I always tell people when I'm coaching is that think of when you're on your deathbed. What will you be thinking of? You definitely won't be thinking about this minor thing, this girl at work that you're letting bothering you, or this like minutia. You won't be hooked on that. What will you be thinking on your deathbed? Will it be regrets? Will you want to have said, "Oh, I'm glad I did that thing"? I don't live a life of regrets. I just do whatever. I'm my own competition. Like, I actually don't even like to do things that other people are like, that's the hit thing. That's my biggest turn off. So you have to first be aware of yourself, where you are, and then your journey can begin.
That's beautiful. I like how I'm gleaning, because I'm gleaning in the sense that I can hear the like-mindedness, the thread that is the commonality amongst us, and there's space for all of us. Like, there's space for your uniqueness. There's space for for you to be authentic. And there's a beautiful thing that I don't have to have what you have in order for me to be good, right? So that's beautiful. And what you said was, I will tell you, Robin had me work on this project, and I told her I don't want to do the project, and I'm not going to say what the project is. I'm not going to do the project because they did the project or somebody did the project. And I don't like to do what and it's not that I don't admire what other people do. It's just that it's not my thing to replicate what someone else does. And I don't even battle to try to be different. It's just that I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, not the way that, especially you don't want people to think that you're trying to do what they do.
You remember I told you, though, I had already thought about it before I had even seen anything. So I pushed her to do it. And I'm like, you're going to do this. I'm not asking you. As many times as you tell me I'm doing something, you're doing this one this time. But I love that we have that relationship and we can do that with one another. So that's important too, when we're lifting one another up, that we have those relationships, that we can tell one another things and we listen.
Yeah, and I got into compliance. Yeah, I did. I did what she asked me to do, because it wasn't about me. It was something that she wanted me to do. And so I got to honor her request. It is not about me. It's about her. And so now I want to make sure I'm saying it right, because I'm seeing the Anika, but it's not correct.
It's
Dr.
Onika.
Okay, so I'm saying that. Onika. I want to talk about self-sabotage, because you focus on confidence, and confidence is very critical for crossing over, right? In order for you to come into the fullness of who you are and to tap into and unleash your full potential, maximize your potential, you have to have that crossover. So how do you work with clients and getting them out of their way? Like Latoya said, that whole self-sabotage thing that they do.
I think that's a great question. And the number one thing is awareness. A lot of times we have to be willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Because as a child, when you think about growing up, we don't have any fears. We don't have any things that we don't like about ourselves until someone else have a problem with what we like. As long as we like it and we don't have those external influences. And as children, we have that, I call it childlike wonders. We are not afraid to do anything. We don't think we can't do anything. We don't think anything is impossible. But as adults, we think everything is impossible. And as Christians, we have to know that Nothing is impossible with Christ.
That's
And so
right.
we
That's right.
know that nothing is impossible. And so we have to become aware of, first of all, that we was all created for something. We may not be created for the same something, but knowing that I am created for something. And so I like to say that I am uniquely me. You have a unique gift about yourself. And so when we identify and not look to the left or to the right and try to make the comparison, that's why the word tells us it's not good to compare. It's not good to be worried about what the neighbors are doing, what they're doing around the corner, across the street, up the road, in the next state. When we stop comparing what we have and become aware of that we have something to offer, that's the way we start. So we start with awareness that I have something. Now, I may not know what that is, but I have something. So we start digging deep into those things that, what is it that I have that comes to me naturally, that I love? What is it that I can do, desire to do, and not be so worried about what other people feel about it, what they think about it? And what I like to say is we need an AP and not PA. And an AP, we need accountability partners, but we don't need permission, and we do not need people's approval. And that's where our confidence stop at, because we need permission to start and their approval after we start. But if we get a good accountability partner, say, girl, you can do it. We need, as Mary Morse, she like to say, you need to get you some, some believe partners, dream partners, people that will believe in you. And they may be in the inside saying, I don't know how she gonna pull that off, but they are the cheerleader on the outside saying, girl, I believe in you, go for it. And that's what we need. We need a circle of people that will, encourage us, whether they see what we see. Because if we be honest, we're trying to have people to see visions and things about us that they were not shown. So they are not able to know what God has shown us and to give us the confidence. And I'm going to say this. A lot of times we want confidence in something that we don't have experience. You're not going to be confident until you do it over and over and over. We need to have faith and courage, and the confidence will come after you continually to do it over and over and over again. So it's not confidence that we're really seeking. It's a mindset shift for us to start and to be okay with failing, to be okay with it not being perfect, because we won't be perfect, to be okay with, as Dr. Martin Luther King said, that we don't have to know, we don't have to see every step, just take the first step and the next step. That's where we're going to build confidence in. So if I can get a sister to start, we can get her to the next step.
Awesome. You hit on a lot of critical points. And I want to go back to them. Is Who's in Your Boardroom is a presentation that I do. It's a workshop that I do in regards to external influences, right? So who's in you are the CEO of your life. It's time to make executive decisions. Who's in your boardroom? Who's going to help you with that decision-making process? And it really speaks to making someone highly aware of who's in their circle and who they've been allowing to influence how they see themselves, how they behave, and the decisions that they make. And so, it is important for us to recognize who's around us, because no matter how confident we are, once those daggers get in, right? Once we get that negative comment about ourselves, we start negotiating with it as whether or not we're going to own it, right? Whether or not we're going to actually take that. Once we receive that thought, it actually goes into our spirit, and then it will govern our behavior. Yeah, it will govern
One thing that I've practiced is, and everyone that knows me, I never tell anyone until after it's done. I never tell anyone until I've made the decision, because I know that, especially with my life experiences, not people who love you, they usually come from a place of fear, right? And so their response is to protect you. And so when you tell them something that's usually bold or requires you taking a risk, their first response is to say, oh, no, one, they wouldn't do it themselves, and they definitely don't want you to do it to get hurt or, in whichever way, shape, or form. So usually I don't tell anyone what I'm doing until after the fact. When I was going to join the army, everyone told me not to, but I'd already signed the papers. And that's how I do everything else. I never share with them until. But I wanted to hit on another point. You know, when God made man in Genesis, he said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, have dominion, and reign. So if you are living a mediocre life and you are okay with not um, fulfilling your purpose in life, you're actually in disobedience to God. You're just living a life of disobedience. And so you can't be surprised when you're in this place and everything else seems to be falling to the ground because you're not where you are supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're
You
not in
know,
position. You're
you're
not in
not in
position.
alignment. Yeah.
You're not in position to receive.
Yeah.
Dr. Onika, you had mentioned the childlike faith, right? Like you said, like when we were kids, we could believe in everything. We can believe. And the word of God says, unless you have childlike faith, right? Unless you become like little children, you will never enter into the kingdom of God. And it is like we allow us to rob one another of believing that something is possible. And that's why we have to guard it. We have to guard. And you know what? Latoya, I have people tell me all the time because I am so defiant. I have people tell me all the time, you shouldn't have told them that. I'm like, listen, my stance is this. God made my personality the type that's very transparent. I don't really care if I tell you or not. I'm doing what I said I was going to do. Now, you can like it and you don't like it. It's just too bad because sometimes what happens is when we're like so, protecting and protecting and protecting, we're doing that and that energy is being put there. That's not everybody's wiring is different. My wiring,
Yeah.
I just have to talk, right? Rob will tell you, I say what's on my mind and be what. But I'm so defiant that in a good and positive way. My defiance is to say I can and I will go and do that. And my submission is that as long as it's in alignment with what God has for my life. So the accountability level is I'm not over here being a renegade, just doing anything. But if God called me to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and I got to do it. So for those people who, aren't the ones who are able to, subdue their excitement and they go out and tell people, still know that if God has it for you,
It's for you.
listen, it's for you. It's for you. No one can take that away as long as you don't give up. And so I want to do a quick flash up of the conference because I want everybody to remember while we're here. We are here for the Success Women's International Conference that is taking place this November. Come on, show it up here. Okay, I want to show it as a display. Let me see if I can show it as a display. Okay, and overlay. Let's get it in here because I want the folks to see the actual conference. I want you to be there. It's beautiful, this announcement. I know that the announcement is just part of how beautiful it's actually going to be. And I am super excited about it. Where are you? We need a video for the conference, actually. Let me see if this is the one. Got me out here doing the technology. It's loading up. It's loading up. Let's see if this one comes up. Show. There we go. So here is the Success Women's Conference. It is November 18th through the 20th. Below you can see, just go to www.successwomeninternational.com. You want to register. And I believe there's a meeting going on right now, but go to the website, reach out to Kearn Sherry if you're interested. I'm not sure what spots to speak are available, but let me tell you something. We're going to shift gears and we're going to begin to talk about why it's important for folks who are out here, who are professionals, who are out here wanting to desiring to take it to the next level, why it's important for them to, take that leap of and that chance and get out there and start to speak. Um, and so I really want us to really speak to that. So I got feedback. Is that anybody's mic? Okay, maybe it's not. So I want us to speak to that. Or do we have any published authors in the house? All right. So when you are an author, what gets coupled with being an author?
Speaking.
Speaking. That's it. How do you get your book out there? You're not going to sell anything if you're quiet. You got to get out there, and you have to be an advocate for the work that you have written about. And so just speak about that. Speak about the importance of getting on the speaker circuit, getting your voice out there, being and making yourself available for others to actually see you, begin to hire you. And I know, Maura, you had shared that this is not your first go around being on the platform with success women. So I wanted you to talk about that journey and share with the audience how they can connect and encourage them to connect. And then let's do a round robin. And we can start with you, Maura.
First of all, it's such a great opportunity to have people sharing their thoughts and the dream with women in general, because I think we are often overlooked, and we actually the one that make the world what it is, but we don't give ourselves enough value to sit on the table of greatness, and we keep eating the crumbs. So I think it's an opportunity when you have such collaboration to just understand community is the currency. We need to support each other and rise together. I am a four-time best-selling author. Just as yesterday, my last book with Cheryl Wood and 76 other speakers was published. And I think Dr. Anika is part of this collaboration. Unleash Your Undeniable Impact just became the
Like that.
number one best-selling on Amazon. So I'm encouraging everybody to grab a copy. What I do specifically when I am in those platforms, it's encourage you as women, men out there, young, professional, to take your life in control and just step up, and knowing, as all of those speakers are here saying, you have greatness in you, and you can eliminate your could, should, and would to step up and make a decision to live life. I usually ask this question to my audience and say, if you knew you had a limited time to live on earth, if you knew, definitely, you could count the time you have to live on it, would you finally do the things you were putting off? How many of you can say, yes, you will step up? But we don't know. Then it's time to step up. It's time to take your life in control and leave those excuses behind and go into collaboration. Make your voice heard. Collaborate with women like Kearn Sherry, you know, uh, Marisa, On Magazine, Robin, Moira. I am always consistently in Facebook posting about Motivation Monday. It's Moira Lavelle. This is where you will find me very active. I post on very often on Wednesday Wellness, where I inspire people to take their health in control. The journey start by your first step. The journey starts with your first step. So start something, knowing you were created unique, as all of those speakers here are saying. And there is a divine written purpose for you that only had your footprint in it. And no one can fill this assignment. So what if you step up? That's what I'm encouraging people to do. I'm developing a course about how to create balance in your life. And also I'm working on toward a group setting where women can be empowered and just coming, talking about you, talking about your stressors, and just let's support each other. So that's what I'm standing for. Wellness and mindset, how to keep your mind, body, and spirit together and just do it. I call everybody and I sing to my friend, Nike it. You can Nike it
Yeah,
because
yeah, here
as
you
they
go.
say, sometimes we just need our own place to encourage each other. And you sometimes have to encourage you because a lot of people don't have your dream in mind to encourage you. So I say the road of success is very narrow. So can you go? Because the crowd will still be waiting for you at the door when you come back to get them.
Yep. Yeah, you got that right. So, Latoya, everyone's not a published author, but business owners, coaches, and the like, they have to speak because you are considered a subject matter expert. So you're going to have to
Yes.
take the stage because that's what made me go into Toastmasters was because working on my
Yeah.
PhD, it was like, I'm going to have to speak to people in public. I'm going to need to do this. So I said, my mentor at the time, and he said something about Toastmasters. And all you have to do with someone like me is tell me about something. And if it intrigues me and has high value, I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to apply it to my repertoire of skill sets, competencies, and opportunities. And so share about what encouraged you to come out and start on the speaker circuit.
Well, I've been told by many throughout the years, and I just finally decided to answer my calling, and also, especially after COVID-19, it has been so sad, the number of depression and people they need support. It is at this time they need to find themselves, because a lot of people weren't prepared for what happened to us. And it only takes that one thing to break you, right? And so now I decided to answer my calling. And I truly believe that everyone, each person, is someone's answered prayers.
Mm-hmm.
And if I've been so blessed, and I'm not fulfilling my end of blessing someone else, then I don't know how I can feel good at nights.
Mm.
Yeah. And I'm also working on a prayer book as well. So that will be coming out at the end of this month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're getting ready to be published. And that's listen, to be honest with you, that's par for the course, right? That's par
Yeah.
for the course. Onika,
Yeah.
talk to us. Onika.
Yes, great question. So I think visibility is vital. We hear the saying that knowledge is powerful, but knowledge applied is powerful. A lot of times we know a lot of things, but if we don't do what we know with what we know, if we don't do what need to be done with the things that we've learned, it's no good. So a good way to get your voice out is by speaking and by writing, because books will go in places that your feet may never trod. And I think it's so important because when you do collaborated projects, it takes you into places again that you would never be. And it is so important for the work that we do, whether it be by words, by video, or by books, that we do it because we want the word to get out. We want another sister to know that there is really nothing special about us, even though we're special, but there is nothing different about us, even though we're different. And there is nothing that is so different about us that she cannot do. And so I know that it's important for us as individual women to bring what we bring to the table. It's like bringing a potluck and still having a good dinner. We're not trying to compete on who brought what, even though some of the things may be similar. So I think it is so vital for visibility, to get our voices out, and to know that we all have something to offer. We have something to offer. We all have a different calling. We all have different gifts, and some of us may have many gifts. Some of us may have one gift. It's like the talents. You have five, you have two, and you have one. But there was an expectation for all of them. And with the one that didn't do anything, he was called a little lazy, and it was taken from him. So I think it is important for us to use what we have to get it out, whether it's speaking on stages, whether it's doing podcasts or radio broadcasts, YouTube channels, via books. Get your word out because we have something to offer. It is time out for us to just be seen, but it's time for us to be seen, heard, and paid. Okay.
Yeah.
It
There
is
you
time
go,
for us to be
Mommy. Hey, lady. Hey,
heard and paid. And so when I think about, I have a little thing that I call the BBB balance. I say it's about your body, your business, and your bank account. We have to have all of those things in alignment. And I like to also say in my closing here that, if when you have much to manage, you don't have time to waste. But if it's not productive value added, I don't have time for it.
no. And we just had this conversation, right, Robin? It's when
Yes,
you
we just had it.
when you are aligned, when you are really truly aligned with your purpose and your calling, it's so daggone big that the little noise and the little stuff that used to go on doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. You don't have the luxury to have those minute low value of no value at all sidebars. You don't have it, and you don't it's beyond you. Like, you don't even have it to say you can negotiate it. I can tell you, Own It started off as one magazine last year. One magazine at this time last year. We have offspring 16 magazines, independently owned and operated.
Wow.
I can't even tell you how it is easy for me to say, I'm sorry, I'm not available for that. I'm not available for that. Oh, you know what? Right now I'm in a meeting, and I'm not lying, because I'm in so many meetings where I'm going to tell you, like, I don't have time. Now I get it. That's why we cannot be competing. We don't have the luxury. There's too much at stake for us to be playing that minor, small-minded game of, did you see how she looked at me? And I don't really like what they doing over there. Who has time for that nonsense?
Who cares?
Right.
People that's not doing anything. People that's not doing anything.
My biggest thing is I need to have time for what really, 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 really matters. Really, really matters. And with that being said, I have a quick commercial break. We're going to come back, and I want to have our closing thoughts. Ladies, think about this while this is going on. You guys, when you decided that you were going to speak, there's a requirement for you guys to do a presentation, right? You submit a presentation, a video presentation. One of the things that are going to be very, very challenging for folks when they come back, when we come back out of this pandemic, like when we really begin to start opening up with public speaking, is you've gotten comfortable virtually, but there is going to be a challenge, because eventually you're going to have to walk across those stages, right? You're going to have to speak in the mainstream. So this is preparation for that. This is to make you feel very, very comfortable, clarity in your message, proficiency in your deliverance of your message. And then the other thing we're going to need is that coaching that says, okay, now you got to stand in front of them, because speaking is it is higher in the fear factor than even death. People are more afraid of public speaking there than they are of even dying. And that's why so many people would ask me, how do you do this? How are you so comfortable? Well, guess what? Conviction brings confidence. And something you said, Onika, you had said, that you can't speak from a level of confidence unless you've experienced it. And that's what the conviction comes from. The conviction comes from the fact that I've gone through this. So I'm not telling you about somebody else's story, because one of the other things that I would get feedback when I spoke was, you're always speaking about yourself. And I said to them, excuse me, I don't know nobody else's story. Like, I don't know the truth to their story. The only thing I can tell you truth is I can tell you what I've gone through and what has actually worked for me, and what I've done with helping other people to make it work for them. Because somewhere along the line, because people are unethical out here, I cannot trust their story. But one thing I can tell you is, repeatedly, I was successful, and this is how I was successful. And so I want to share, what you had to do in your video when you presented it, and then also some tips for the audience that if they want to come and they want to speak next year, a tip, a really good tip that they could use in order to prepare them for the coming year. And so we're just going to take a quick commercial, and we'll be right back.
Life is filled with many unexpectancies. If something happened to you today, heart attack, cancer, stroke, or diagnosed with anything terminal, are you prepared for what's next? Only 1 out of 4 to 5 Americans have considered that life is unexpected, uncertain, and has some uncontrollable risk. Are you that 4 to 5 that hasn't taken action yet? Call right now for your free quote. Tomorrow's not promised. The protection of your legacy depends on what choice you make in this moment. Call right now.
Onika, you said something that was very, very important: your body, your business, and your bank account. Some of that, what he just talked about in that commercial, was really about taking care of not just an insurance for when you're gone, but an insurance that covers you while you're still here in the land of the living. And as CEOs of our businesses, our lives, we need to get that in order. So I always find it very important to share with that information with our audience. And so, like I said, before we went on, before the commercial, the break, the sponsorship, I talked about, really, really what you had to do to prepare for taking center stage on Success Women's International Conference and owning it. And so, Onika, we're going to start with you.
Okay, so first, as a decision to make an investment within myself. And that's what I think is so important for individuals that want to take the stage, is to know that it requires a conscious, calculated decision. Because if we don't believe in ourselves, who else will? If we don't think that we can, who else will? So in preparation and to have something to say. And I think it is important for individuals to know, because all the time it don't have to be the deep stuff. Because it's not the deep stuff that is preventing us from starting. It's the small, simple stuff. It's the day-to-day habits and routines. It's the day-to-day people that we're sitting around. It's not the big stuff that's stopping us. It's not the enemy that's stopping us. It's us that's stopping us. And so if we will get to the small stuff, the big stuff will come, because every big thing was once small. And in our preparation, it's to deal with those small things first. And number one is to make a decision. And I want to say this one thing that keep coming back. Stop asking people what they think, because if they knew, they would have already done it.
You better talk about it. Latoya, you are up.
So for me, I, like Onika, I decide I don't do the overthinking. I believe that I am led by the Holy Spirit. So if I see something, it speaks to me, I decide. I clicked that button immediately as I saw it. I clicked it and I'm like, okay. And then after that, you prepare. And then I try to do walks a lot so I could calm myself down. Like, how are you going to do this? Yeah. Yeah, you decide. And then, and right before the show, once you're prepared, I just prayed and asked the Lord to let his voice be heard and that his message be heard to his people. And that's it.
Awesome. Mara, you're up.
I remember I went to a program 4 years ago. I was broke and broken. I borrowed the first $1,000 to go to a self-development program. And then they offered in the program a 3 years commitment where you got to sign up. It's over $20,000. I was with a friend of mine. She knew how broke I was. I signed up. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm signing up for this program." "How are you going to pay it?" Tony Robbins said, "Make the decision and find a way." That's usually what I geared my life with. Make a decision, like Dr. Onika said.
Yeah.
When you make the decision of your why is so big, you will get the how completed. So I signed up for this program because I knew, importantly, what it is going to be for my voice to be heard. And this is a way for me to start doing it, to continue doing it. I've been speaking on stage for the past 4 years, and I'm very busy. I have a practice. I'm the CEO and founder of Moira Holistic Wellness. I'm consistently speaking. I'm consistently being on stage, traveling, but I don't compromise my integrity when it's come to things that I need to do for the world to leave an impact. We all born naked and dumb. Guess what? It's all for us. It's our decision to make sure how we going to die. And some of us are walking dead. Let's go on to say it. We are all just basically around 25, we are dead, but we get buried until after 60, 65.
Wow.
So it is a decision you make in your life to leave a legacy. So first, it takes a process. We move right now from brick and mortar to click and order, but we're going back.
Go ahead, girl. Brick and mortar.
To brick and mortar. And this is the stage of preparation right now.
Yes.
So when signing up for something like speaking a successful woman conference that is totally online, not only you build your confidence, but your name is out there, but you also do the preparation, the step to prepare your speech and then send it. You put some more thought on it because this is where you connect with the audience with just a little screen that I'm looking at you right now, camera. So it puts a lot of thought and information, and then to be precise on what you're going to say to impact a life and a life in a million lives out there that is expecting your message. So I would say, first of all, make the commitment. Invest in yourself because your why will find you a way to make the how happen. And then also collaborate with achieving driven people that can take you to the next level because this is the only way. So don't die with your gift inside of you. And then when you are in those collaboration, guess what? You are uplifted. You are just like the next opportunity. Like I was in Level Up, I moved to speaker power up, and now I'm in Successful Woman. It's just moving up. So you just get to be more visible, as you said. It's just so important. You have a message. If you hide it, if you think it's so good in your head, it's worth nothing. Your knowledge, it's worth to share with the world. So I'm encouraging everybody to go out there to own their life in all dimensions, because it's necessary to become conscious in how you live your life on this earth. And don't touch anything. And I'm repeating, don't touch anything and live the way you touch it.
Yeah.
Make your mark.
Make your mark. Make your mark. You said something that's so important, and I always say, and Robin attests to this, is your why must make you high. It's got to be so. right? It's got to be so addictive to you that no matter what, the blows and the punches, because once you get into alignment, Latoya, I know you'll attest to this, is once you get in alignment, all hell breaks loose. The minute you
Yes.
come to clarity of thought and you really align with your purpose, it's almost like, am I supposed to be here? Because it feels like I done made a huge mistake. And so we have a couple of comments. So let me make sure. Eve is saying to us, hello, beautiful ladies. She's saying true. Most of what we said tonight is true, if not all of it. Listen, people will say own it. And it's funny because I never really thought about how we often say it. Like, so now that I have it as the magazine, I see that we often say it. You gotta own it. This is not a cute saying. I didn't say, oh yeah, that sounds nice. Own it. No, this is your life. Take center stage. It's your turn up on the runway. Take center stage and own it. Your life, your career, your business. You're the one thing that'll never change. One variable about you and about all that goes on with you is you. You are the variable that you can never ever get rid of. So the one thing that you need to do is own you, the good, the bad, the ugly, and indifferent. And just embrace you. Stop trying to be perfect and just be you. And what's that song? Nobody can be you but you, right? So when you own that and say, look, I can show up. I ain't even worried about a sister next to me because she can't be me. And I don't want to be her. I want to be me. I'm going to be happy when I am the full of all and the full essence of who I am. And that's what Success Women's International Conference. I'm going to read 3 lines. We are more. Success Women's International Conference is more than a conference. It's more than a network, and it's more than a movement. I want to read this piece here. Success International has had some of the baddest women and men on the planet graze their stage for their annual success. So I want to make sure that those who listened until the end, you need to understand that this is the biggest out of all the conferences that have been done by this organization through the year. This conference is the biggest. It is the summing of all of the conferences. And so those who had the honor and the privilege of grazing this stage will walk away from it life-changing. All of these opportunities are life-changing, and they're an opportunity to build on your confidence level, your conviction. Once you come to self-actualization, is not about being perfect. It's about coming to a level of freedom by which you reach back to the next person and say, hey, this feels way too good for me not to share this opportunity, a level of freedom with you. So that's what Maslow's hierarchy of needs was really referring to. If you really go into his theory, he really said at the fourth level of self-awareness is self-actualization. It's the level by which the one level before is that conformity, where you're looking for your peers to affirm who you are. And most get stuck there because if your friends don't help you to go up, and they're not free enough with themselves to say, yeah, go ahead and do you got this, they will try to keep you there. And because you have such a need to fit in, you will stay stuck. What Maslow was really arguing is once you get up to that level of I don't care, that's why you got to embrace your 50s, right? You got to embrace your 40s, right? You got to be like, yeah. 40s, you start feeling yourself. 50s, you like, what? You like, excuse me? I know you wasn't talking to me because see, blah, 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 blah. If you really let yourself go up that way. When you get to this level, you're so happy with yourself. You're content in the sense that you're grateful, as Maura said. You just have that level of gratitude and your appreciation for life. You feel so free that you do want to go back and get others. And that's what I believe this conference is all about. It's about people who have reached that level of success and autonomy that they really want to reach back out and give it to other people. I heard repeatedly you guys say that it's about reaching to the audience and saying to them, hey, come on, you can do this too. I'm special, but there's nothing so special about me that makes you not special enough to come up as well. And so I just want to say so very much. Anybody, I want to do a round robin. We're a little over an hour, but that's okay. I want us to do a round robin of closing thoughts. What do you want to say to the audience? It's November the 18th through the 21st. We want you to register. It's in the comment section of how you can register, the website, the link. I'm not sure if they're still taking speakers or not. I think this was the last of the days. But hey, you never know. So reach out to Kearn or anyone that you're familiar with on the platform for the organization and see if there's a possibility for you to even still speak. But I want to do a round robin of which we give out some encouragement and share with the people what to expect for the conference, and let's release them for the night. I'm not going to pick a person. Who wants to speak first?
I'll go.
Go
I would just say, show up for yourself. And even if you're not showing up to speak, show up to be spoken to. Because sometimes we need words of encouragement. We have went through a lot of things in life. We've been told all different sorts of types of things. But this conference will be one of those things that will encourage you. And I think it is so important for even business owners, aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs, want to, should tos, and ought tos. When you're doing everything for everybody else, if you don't do nothing but come to this conference for you, do that. Come for you. You pour out, come to be poured into. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here tonight, and I'm super excited about it.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take this opportunity to not only thank you, but your grace, your beautiful smile, and you hosting this beautifully and make us so comfortable that we met you forever. We've been friends forever. So this is a platform. People need to check on you. People need to check on everything you do because
You hit your mute.
You hit your mute.
so it's such a good opportunity for you that's out there to come in this conference. And as Dr. Onika said, to just get yourself be poured in so you can be full. So you're not giving from your empty cup, but you can go from your overflow. So I want to encourage you to come and show up for you. This end of the year, if there was 1 year, I would recommend everybody to finish strong this year
Yes.
and start stronger. 2022 is this one. 2020 went in a blip. We didn't know what to do. We don't know who we are anymore. But this 2021 has not been easier. You have lost your job. You have lost so many people in your life. The suicidality is increasing. The death rate, it's so much. The depression, I'm first line of witnessing it. So give yourself a chance to look at in yourself, look at in the mirror and say, I'm still standing. There is a calling in my name, and I need to feel this purpose. And as Williamson said, our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. We are powerful beyond measure. So
Yeah.
you are powerful out there. Just show up.
Yeah.
Only way to blow up is by showing up.
Go ahead. Blow up, you gotta show up. Go ahead, mommy. I love
Yes, go and don't be afraid. Just knowing as you heard it and as every speaker is showing up here today, they already gave you a little dose of what you are going to find in Success Woman International Conference 2020. So pour some love on yourself and dress up to attend this event, those 4 days that coming up from the 18th to the 21st, and just love on you and invite your friend, have a party. And it doesn't matter your rank because this is for everybody. Okay. So thank you so much for inviting me. I am so honored and privileged to be among all of you, the stars of the platform tonight.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they've said it so well. It's such an honor to be here. And if you're wondering if you should be there, like, wonder no more. You deserve it. You are worth it. And you want to know the first thing to do to get to that next level? Be around people at that level. You'll be forced to rise, to elevate, you know, like just show up, just be there. Don't do it for me, do it for you. Okay. Thank you so much. It's such a blessing. Thank you.
Yeah. So Robin, close us out, Rob.
One of the things I always say often is you have to get out of your own way and get out of your comfort zone. If you're unwilling to invest in yourself, why would anyone else be willing to invest in you? So if people have not registered for this conference, this is one of the things they need to do to invest in themselves and get to the next level. And I'm sure with everyone else that's on the platform, as we can see from tonight's interview, you're definitely going to miss out if you don't take that opportunity. So get in there, show up, and show out.
Yeah. Show up and blow up. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to thank you for Eve. We want to do a shout out for Eve Gomez. She is also one of the offspring of the Own It magazine. She has Erethel is her, and it's a lifestyles magazine, and she's out of I think it's Chicago, Michigan, Chicago area. Robin is out of Dallas, Texas, right? Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
And I'm out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So we are a national base with an international reach. So, ladies, we just want to say thank you for not counting the robbery, giving us a little taste of what's happening on the stage for Success Women's International Conference 2021. And like I said, it's the link for you to register is right here on the thread, so you can register. You don't have to worry about where do I register, it's right here. And we just want to thank you so much. We know that you guys have a busy schedule because we know you are doing interviews all over up until the conference and getting the message out there, the importance of people who you want to be motivated. This is the environment by which you get motivated. This is by the environment which you get encouraged. And these are also professionals that you can actually work with, that you can actually connect with, and you can work with. So if you're looking at holistic wellness, if you're looking for coaching for confidence and speaking up, if you're looking for spiritual coaching, it's right here in this room. Make sure that you connect with each one of them. Do you guys have websites?
Yes, LatoyaShay.com.
Yeah, so quickly in the private chat, just put it in there. I'm going to drop it in as we close out. I'm going to drop it in in our comments so everyone can connect with you and have that. And then I'll repost it as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say thank you so very much for being with us tonight. Like I said, register for the Success Conference. It's November 18th through the 21st. It is virtual, so you don't have to leave the comfort of your space. You can do it anywhere you are. We will be there. And so, without further ado, ladies, let's just give them a wave. Say good night. Good night to the team. I'm almost tipping.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Stay backstage, ladies.